All right, Skyhook Garage here. Got another one for you. This is a 2002 BMW 325i. And what we're doing today is we're removing the driver's side rear door panel. And obviously this is a 4-door. This video is going to be good for anything from a 98 to a 2005, I believe. And understand also that if you're not taking the left door apart, you're maybe taking the passenger side apart, this video is going to be good for both sides. It's just the reverse of the vehicle. And also some tips and stuff are going to be good with this door. It's going to be good for the forward doors also. So even if you have a 2-door coupe or even a 5 Series, you know, there's some good information here on how to get these little panels off and figure out where the screws and the hold downs are and stuff. So some of the tools you're going to want to work with here: good flashlight. All right, I got one up above there too. That'll give us some more light on the door. You're going to want a T20 Torx bit. Doesn't need to be tamper-proof. That's just the type that I have. So it's going to be that 6-point star T20. That's the size that's going to take the screws out of the door once we get some of these little access panels off. Another tool you're going to want, something to pry with, something sharp but not super big, like a number 2 or number 3 flathead screwdriver. Like right here, I got a number 1, a little small guy here. And then you also want, this is going to be the gun for the Torx bit. And then we got here is a body panel popping tool. So this is going to allow us to get under the door panel here, access those plastic attachment holders that are in there, the little plastic bezel pieces, and pop them guys off. And it's got a nice long reach to it and a little couple angles to get some leverage. So step number 1, you're going to want to pull the window switch out. All right, because once we get the door panel off, you're not going to be able to access the plug from the backside where you normally would be able to. So we want to pull this switch socket out of the door panel previous to doing anything else, prior to doing anything else, and that way we can unplug it there. So just you're going to get underneath the plastic trim piece here. There's a spring tab at the back of it and at the forward of it, and you're just going to give it a little wiggle. Once it's out a little bit, work your way around without marring up the rubber here or not, and it'll walk right out. You'll be able to get a hold of it. Once it's out, you got your little connector right there. There's a little release tab for it, and on the Beamers it's kind of a little bit of a pain. Just put the screwdriver in there a little bit, work it, and then it pops right out there. So set the switch aside, tuck that back in the door panel, and we'll move on to the trim piece here. So you want to be careful with this trim piece, because if you are working on a car that's already 15 years old, this is going to be super brittle. And if yours isn't cracked already, you want to be super careful not to crack it doing this. So step number 1, you're going to want to grab right in between the door panel and that amber trim piece. Give it a little pop. It's going to pop out. All right. And then you got 2 holders, one which we just popped out, another one down here. So you want to work your fingers down along the end. You don't want to grab it from this end and yank, because you have a greater risk of breaking it. All right, you pull it out of the second holder and then just pull it away from the door handle here. You see the 2 little tangs here that hold it in the door release, the inside door release there. So set that aside. Now it gives us access to our 2 screws, which there's supposed to be one here. Looks like someone's already been in here and hadn't put it back in. So there's going to be a screw there, which looks just like this one over here. It's probably not black though, because the black one signifies the one that's going towards the door handle. It's a longer screw. It's different than the other screws, and it's designed to go specifically in this spot to help assist with pulling on that door handle and keeping the door panel against the door frame itself. So personally, I don't recommend the gun. The gun can you can overwork these screws putting them back in. A regular screwdriver is going to be sufficient to do so. So the next 2 spots are down here underneath the arm bolster. So you got a little plastic panel, another plastic guy. You just pop him out, put it aside. Got another one just forward of that. Pop that out, put it aside, and then the flashlight comes in handy here, where you can see down in these holes here, and there's going to be a T20 Torx screw in there. So probably not going to get a good shot on it with the camera, so I'm just going to get in there with the light. The gun's got a light on it. Make sure we get right on that screw and remove the screw. So as long as you can see it out of the hole there, or out of where it was originally at, it might not. There we go. There's the guy right there. So there's a short guy right there. And to be honest, that should also look like the one that's up there. So If you still have one, it's going to be a silver color, and that's where that one's going to be. About the same length also. So number 2, number 3's same thing. Unscrew it. Make sure you don't lose any of your hardware when you're doing this. All right, another screw, same size. All right, so all the screws out of the door now. Now the only thing holding this door to it is going to be those plastic retainers on the inside of the panel. So you're going to start right about here at the corner. You're just going to put this in, and you're going to work the door back a little bit, and they'll pop along as you work your way around. They'll pop out. So some of these are already out. Like I said before, it looks like someone's already been here. But if you pull the door just a little bit, panel off just a little bit, you can see where the rest of these are. There's one up top here, there's one here, a couple more down here and along the way. You can even just work your fingers along the bottom of the door panel, and they'll slowly pop out as you go around. There's the guy up top there. Once we get the door panel all the way off, I'll show you where the rest of the screws are, and that way it'll give you a better idea. So once the door panel is loose from about the top of the line here down, there's 3 metal plastic retainers up top here. You're going to want to start at the inboard side of the panel and just put your couple fingers underneath the back, put your thumb up on the B-pillar post there. Just pull ever so gently on. All right, and as just like you did on the bottom, work it out. You don't want to start at this end because you have the door lock knob that sticks through the panel, and you don't want to be pulling on that end. You want to get the door released from these 3. Actually, there's 4 here, my correction. You want to get them released from those tangs first, and then that'll clear that. So before, make sure you hold on to the door panel when you pull it all the way off, because you got all your connections on the back side. So if we look at the back side of the panel here, back side of the panel's got a couple things. Here's that door window switch. See how it's tucked up in there? There's no way you would have been able to unplug it if you left it plugged in with the switch in there. So got that unplugged, and our speaker connector is supposed to be in here too, but like I said, someone's been in here. Here it is over on this side here. Another type of plug, just like the door window switch. That's going to be in there, so that's real short. That might even just pulled out when we were pulling the panel off. Not a big deal. But then you have your door latch cable right here, and you can see there's a little plastic retainer right here. Just want to get the screwdriver just in there, pop it loose, and then it's going to slide outward ever so carefully. There we go. So basically it sits right in here, right in there, and then it just pushes down and on. So that little handle piece right there is going to mate into the handle piece right there. So once that snaps in, we'll put it back in and take it back out one more time, just like that. Hear it work in the door, and then we'll pop it back out one more time. So just want to be gentle with all this stuff, because the car is this old and it's easy to break things, and you break something on the weekend while you're working on it, it's going to be tough getting parts for it. So, oh, the light's falling down on me. All right. So now your door panel's free from the car. Keep that light right there. So here's all your plastic retainers, and like I said, they all should be white and they should look the same. You know, it gives you an idea if someone's been in here. These are actually most likely the factory ones. BMW likes to put some cushion in there, so that's what that little black ring is there. So all these guys, clearly that's been replaced. This guy up top here. But the good news is they're all there, and all these holders, you want to be gentle. You don't want to be breaking these, because that's where you get door rattles and stuff from. Once you go yanking on the door panel improperly, you break these guys off, and then your door's rattling all over the place going down the highway. So, and then up top, here's the receiving pieces right here, 3, 4, and those are the metal clips up top. So that's how to get the door panel off. And like I said, video is good for the other side of the car. It's the exact reverse of this, just mirror image, I guess, not reverse. And also for the front doors, it's a very similar process on how to do it. So hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. I got a couple 101s coming up on some emissions components. Definitely subscribe and like the video so you don't miss out on any content. And until next time, thanks for watching.